Hey y'all, welcome back to Bread Reviews at All. I am going to be reviewing. I was a little bit shaky on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump on in there because it's so explicit. I really want to watch how I word certain things. But I'm gonna go ahead and review P-Valley. I've been watching this since season 1. This is season 2. We are on episode 6 now, and this one is titled Savage. I'll say it in a minute. Why is labeled Savage? Excuse me, I am in the filming on my lunch break, so we gotta make it work, make it do what it do. So, the episode was pretty good though. I mean, it started off sexy, with Diamond and Big Bone, which we know that those two in real life that they are dating. So it was very, the chemistry was on point, but they stayed in character, probably with some kinky stuff going on with them too, playing character and whatnot. But Diamond, while they are having intercourse, he's also seeing Keyshawn's face. Now, with that happening, I'm curious to see down the line what's going to go on with that. Is that going to be an issue with Big Bone? Or will she be such a wonderful woman and mesh well with Diamond that he will be able to get past that mentally, that mental block there? But she noticed that he will turn his head when they're in the works. She noticed that there's something with his eyes that's different when they are right here, and she's like, you gonna have to fix that, honey, if you messing with me. Now, she did notice the ring from Octavius that is sitting in Diamond's house. She was about to go touch it, but he came in the room right on time before she did, and he pretty much basically told her, like, girl, you might not want to touch that. You're going to have some things going on with you if you mess with that. But they just kind of quickly, and it was really cute, addressed each other and got right on back into some business that they wanted to do with each other. Hey, I'm happy for Diamond. Happy he having a good old time. And he finding somebody, just misunderstood it. Moving on. So let's see. We're gonna see what happens with that character with Big Bone. Something is brewing with that character. Now we have the scene come in. Big murder. With Big T and Murder. They all hanging out with their whole crew and whatnot. Murder pulls up. I thought it was a video shoot. Like, I was trying to figure it out. But Murder pulls up in a Charger, decked out, gifting it to Big T, and that was like such the cutest scene. Big T, you can tell that he has been through a lot of trauma, childhood trauma, and just his life period. And just with him getting out of jail finally, it's a lot to take in and to readjust to what's going on currently in the world. So he's just very emotional, quick to hop on you, that attitude of his, but you know why though, you get it. But yeah, so he just needed a moment, but he took off in that car, did his little donuts and whatnot, and he, and Murder understood, like, they really have a really good friendship and understanding of each other and how to speak to each other. There's some real history there. So now they flip over and they have Uncle Clifford. They and I forget, and how can I forget his name? I'm sorry, y'all. This is my first time reviewing the show, and I cannot believe I'm forgetting his name. But Uncle Clifford and the fill-in for everything there. But he is, they're watching Haley like even closer than ever since they found out that her whole mentality the whole time, her whole goal was to sell the pink, the pink. Now, sorry y'all, my mind is all over the place because I'm thinking about down the line in the episode, but because it was so much. But they turned the water off on her because it's like, healthy, you in here using our water? Absolutely not. But they found a dress that she's gonna put on for something that's going on later, so they trying to figure out what you got going on. But Uncle Clifford gonna figure it out what her next move is because they watching her like a hawk. Then we come in, we have Keyshawn. She is still there with Derek. Poor girl. Excuse me, poor girl. It's almost like she's trying to find her way out. To be honest with you, you can tell that something is really gonna have to happen, and I really hope that it doesn't fall back on Keyshawn because she's just been fighting for her life. Keyshawn, she's sitting at home, with the kids and whatnot. She did have where she was talking to Murder on the phone. He's trying to figure out, hey, what's going on, and then she basically tells him what happened. A portion of what happened went wrong. He tried it with her and whatnot, and then that didn't work. So when Derek walks in the room, Keyshawn hangs up the phone. Now, Derek is still walking around like everything's all good and gravy and whatnot, but come to find out, Keyshawn's been hiding a gun in that house, a little pink gun. That right there is just like, oh my God, what's gonna happen with this gun and with Keyshawn and with Derek? Something is gonna happen there. She waits for him to leave. We figure out and we find out on this episode that, and I should have already known this, but he is tracking her phone. So when he leaves, she leaves that phone. She grabs the keys. She has the bags already packed. She goes to the car to get ready to go. He done did something to the car to where she can't even leave and go nowhere. She need to make it where she would need him for whatever it is. So she just basically said, F it, went back in the house like nothing was going on. It's so sad. Now we know that eventually Murder is gonna find out what happened to Rome. But he's gonna find out that it was for him. A portion of the reason was for him. Now, Mercedes, she goes to take Terica, check in on Terica, take them some groceries because homegirl has not been working. But she's been drinking her life away. Now, the way that she's speaking to her is like, ma'am, Mercedes has been doing nothing but trying to help, and you still talk down to her. She's telling you, hey, I will take Terica for right now to help you out so you can get back on your feet. But then to say, oh, I'm good. All I need is a job, but not the kind of job working at just talking down to her. And it's like, oh my God, like Mercedes doesn't deserve that at the end of the day. You're still holding on to some old hurt. You got to let that go. Because if you don't want to have anything to do with it, then remove yourself out of Terica and Mercedes' life. And then you don't have to be fooling with neither one of them if you feel they strongly. She was so jacked up, she didn't even realize that she said what she said about Terica and that Terica even overheard her saying it. But yeah. Then, of course, Mercedes gets a call from Coach saying that he wants to pick back up where they left off, which that is the agreement that she has with him. When he calls, that means you come, right? But the original agreement had nothing to do with the wife being involved. So now that her and the wife had a little thing going on, she feeling a little weird about it and don't want to get in trouble and mess up her whole thing that she got going on with Coach. Because she was like, that's not what I signed up for. But he's like, just indulge her this one time and whatnot. I just felt it at that moment that whole thing was just it wasn't gonna go well. Now, Murder, he basically just at a standstill at this point, just like, okay, well, I ain't got nothing else to do right now. I'm supposed to be on tour, but since Rome and all of that with Keyshawn that happened, now I'm just sitting here like, okay, what we don't do? So now, Murder is gonna hang out with Big T for the day. They go get some wings, And the way that Murder was talking to Big T is just like, dude, okay, I think your emotions are all over the place when it comes to Big T and when it comes to Uncle Clifford. Because if I heard correctly, you told Big T that y'all were on a date. In the way that he shoo old girl off when she was coming on the Big T, that was like, boy, cut it out. At that moment, I'm like, hello, what about Uncle Clifford? You sending him all these little love postcards and stuff. What's up with that? And Big T asked him about Uncle Clifford, but the fact that he was able to sit there and have a really good conversation with him, and a truthful conversation, and explain it, and they could have that type of convo, that was really awesome to see about them as a person, right? Okay, so let's see. We have Murda. He finally heard his song on the radio, and Big T, he was just like, oh my God, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, you're going to make it. You're going to be great. I'll be honest with you. I thought something was going to happen in that scene with Big T. Like, he was going to be, something was going to be with him. But it didn't happen. And I'm going to keep going. Now, they flash back in. We see that the paint is back open. So they did what they had to do to get it back going. Now, Mercedes is over there with Coach and his wife. The wife, I mean, she was just doing too much, ma'am. That's not why she is there. That's not the agreement that she had. Mercedes looked at her and said, you bet don't mess up my ish. And when I tell you, that's exactly what happened. Okay, so they got to doing their thing, and Coach realized, like, hold on, helper, talking to his wife. You look like you a pro at this. Y'all two got something going on, and he noticed it right off the bat. He like, what kind of crap is this? Come to find out, and she let it all out. She's like, first of all, you've been so into what you need and this and your ego and working and all of this. You didn't even realize that I like this. I like a woman's private part just as much as you do. So why do you get to have all the fun and I don't get to enjoy myself as well? No, thank you. That's not going to happen. And Mercedes, she tries to step in and try to back her up. She was just saying, like, nah, Coach, she is right. What about her dreams? What about her wants, her desires? It's all about you and what you need and your ego. Excuse me. He gets bucked with Mercedes and gets to yanking her up like, oh, help you done messed up my household and done turned down my wife. Why you mad at her? You paying for the Mercedes experience, ain't you? Why you mad? Because they can do it without you. That's what it was. That's what it really was. Ego. Because you could have just let that be what it was, and y'all could have had a good old time with the three of y'all, but you just ruined that because of your ego. Now, I mean, he basically, I would have never expected him to get rough with Mercedes like that, or his wife, but he was buck, he was mad, he done called her all kind of stuff, and it's like, oh, now why now you want to talk to her like that? That was real jacked up. But for him to basically be like, oh no, I didn't even see him give her the money, and the wife didn't even step in, and she said something, but she didn't physically go get the money and hand it to Mercedes like she should have. She just walked away, and Mercedes looked at her like, hell, I told you don't mess up my stuff. She did. Jacked up. They need to get that girl her money because that wasn't even cool. But anyway, so moving on. So now that's all messed up for Mercedes, her little fun. Let's see. Now, Keyshawn, she was waiting for Derek to get back home. She had a gun in her hand, but she hid it in the couch, and we don't know why. We don't know what's going to happen because they hugged, and they was talking like everything was all cool. Keyshawn, get out of there, girl. Harry, please, by any means, call somebody to come get y'all and get you out from over there. You and your kids, immediately. Then we have Murder. He was finally able to catch up with Rhodey. Wodie's talking. He mentioned something about Rome having OD, and Murder was just like, but how do you know that he OD? The phone hangs up because the battery's low. So y'all wrong for doing us like that, because I wanted to see if Wodie was gonna tell him everything down to the details and all, but we don't know. hopefully we'll get there. Um, Big T, he basically went back to his old home, and like I said, that man has been through a lot of childhood trauma that, and now it makes you understand his character a little bit more, you know. And it was just really sad to watch. It made me cringe, like, mm, 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 mm. But luckily, Murder was there, so he went in to go check on him and brought him up out of there. Now we have Haley. It's like you want to love her character, but then she makes you hate her character at the same time. It's like, come on, Haley. I want to root for you, girl, but the things that you do and the way that you move, it's all ain't right. Like, what is going on? What is your goal here? Um, she ain't even going by Haley. She using Lakeisha Savage, which is why they called the name of this Savage. Um, I mean, she came in, she was ready for business, and she got right on down to it. The older white lady that came in, she was basically running the show in that room, and she said what she said, and she said to Miss Savage that they gonna be talking soon, because they gonna get, they gonna get what they want financially for selling the paint. It's gonna be some mess. Now back with Uncle Clifford, he realizes that his grandmother, like, she's really sweaty. He ends up, and she coughing and stuff. He ended up checking her temperature, and he was like, I know that this ain't what it is. I believe that she probably does have COVID. He called Toy, and she was still coughing. And he's like, oh, hell, I knew there wasn't no freaking allergies. So we gonna have to see what happens with Granny. Hopefully she'll be okay. Um, Haley and Andre, they finally did the do. It's been just a prolonged thing since season one. It's finally happened. Those two will be, whew, I don't know. They probably gonna be a force to be reckoned with between the two of them, and we gonna have to see what happens with that. Um, Now Big T and Murder, they were hanging out. And I was like, oh, so Big T, he has a talent, like he can sing. Like, okay. That's why it was someone who made the comment when they were in the barbershop about what Big T can bring to the table, and if somebody put him on a song, you know what he could do. Um, that was the most traumatic part for me of this whole episode. I mean, it really took it there. He did end up taking his life in the end, and it's unfortunate. I mean, like I said, he's a very complex individual, a lot of childhood trauma, adult trauma, being locked up. They say he said being in the hole for an extended period of time, that does something to you mentally as well, and then being put back out into the world and just saying, okay, here you go, and then having to readjust to all the things that were going on at that time. It was a lot on that man, and he could, to him, he just couldn't take it anymore, and it was very sad to see. Murder is very disturbed, and who would it be? We'll have to see what happens, you know, with that. Did he just leave Big T out there like that, or what did he do with him? So Murder does end up going to Uncle Clifford's house because he was just so, like, he was like, I'm not okay. And that was a very emotional scene. Glad that Uncle Clifford was able to just console him at that moment and just let him come on in. Also, we find out that Terica is pregnant, and I'm really like, oh, Terica, this is exactly what Mercedes didn't want for you, girl. And that's why she tried to be there for you the best way that she could, but it just didn't come out that way. So we're gonna have to see what comes with the next episode. I mean, this is a very, very mentally, it took it there on this episode. It was a lot. But I'll watch it every week. But I am gonna start sharing my thoughts about it. Any other P Valley watchers out there, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I wasn't expecting a lot of things that happened in this one to occur, and it took me for a loop. Like, oh my goodness, what? So let me know what y'all thought about it. And thank you for watching. And please like, comment, subscribe, the notification bell button, so you'll be aware when I post another P-Valley video, or any other episodes or TV shows that you like. You'll be aware. All right. So thank you once again for watching, and bye, and have a wonderful day.